Hi, you are with the first edition of Volleyball Explained Olympics special for the first day of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Our co-host today is Mark Lebedew, the head coach of the German Friedrichshafen. Thank you, Mark, for joining us for our very first special edition of the podcast, but special about Tokyo Olympics. Let's start with what happened during the day in the Japanese Olympics with the first day of the male tournament. The first match started early in the morning in Tokyo and early in the night in Europe between Canada and Italy. 2-0 leading the Canada, but then Italy turned it around and won 3-2. Easy win as expected for Brazil against Tunisia, 3-0. Day after, Russia beat Argentina 3-1. Then Japan, the hosts, beat Venezuela 3-0. Then a very interesting, I would say highly dramatic match between Poland and Iran, and a surprising win for Iran 3-2 with a over dramatic tiebreak with 23-21, and at the end USA beat easily the team of France with 3-0. Mark, which of these events surprised you the most?
Really good question. You didn't prepare me for such good questions. Maybe the most surprising one for me was USA against France. I thought that France played well at VNL, not their best, but they had some really good matches and really good performances in VNL. And I thought that at least it would be a close game. I know that in VNL USA, most of the time they didn't have Sander and Anderson, so the whole tournament doesn't count for anything. But that was the most surprising result for me, even more than Iran and Canada.
I asked this question a lot of times, but how much exactly do you think France is dependent on Erwin Gapet and his game? I don't think he's his best, even physical shape.
He's a really important player for them, but he's important in a different way. So it's not so much about his level of play. Of course, he has to play well, but it's how he lifts the team, the emotion and the energy that he gives to the team. And today they had nothing really from anywhere, and the opposites weren't very good. The setters weren't very good, and then it doesn't matter who you are after that. It makes it really difficult.
Talking about Gapet, I believe that we can't talk very much about this match because there wasn't a lot about talking. I mean, the superiority of US, the US team was very huge, and it just not that much happened during this match, just because of the fact that US was so superior. But talking about the influence, the impact of Gapet on the French team, what do you think about the influence of Michał Kubiak in the Polish team? Because Kubiak, due to some sources, due to a small slight injury, didn't play against Iran, and Poland lost.
Yeah, that was surprising. I didn't know about the injury. I just saw that he didn't play because I also know that Vital Heinen will change the team in the tournament. So I wasn't surprised that Kubiak didn't play, that Schlifke was playing. The Kubiak brings a lot to the team with his emotion, with his leadership, but the thing that the team needs the most is the performance of Leon and Kurek, and then if they are not at their best, then it's really difficult for Poland. The middles had some involvement in the play, but yeah, the important thing for Poland is Leon and Kurek. In the fourth set, they spiked at 80%, and it was easy. And then in the fifth set, I think Leon made 2 mistakes and Kurek made 1. And really that is the decisive factor. When you spike a lot of balls, it's not a big deal to make a few mistakes, but in the fifth set is not the time that you have to make those mistakes.
Yeah, I have.
And the other thing was that Maruf was really good in the fifth set and really played a better fifth set than Gisga.
Yeah, in the fifth set there was one moment that was especially remarkable, at least for me, because I believe it was 13-12 for Poland, and Leon serving. He served with 128 kilometer per hour, but I'm not sure who of the Iranian receivers received the perfect reception of this almost 130 kilometer per hour serve. And then the facial expression of Olekno said it all. It was really unbelievable, and Maruf played in the middle, so very interesting. What can be the reason for the fact that Poland had a lot of situations during the match where with a perfect or good reception, they just made a direct error from attack? Is it the fault of the spikers, or could be also a fault of the setter?
I looked at the stats of the match, and they made 11 spiking errors from 126. So it's maybe it's 3 more spike errors than you can say is normal. So I don't think that it's a really big deal. In the fifth set that we already mentioned, I think these mistakes were just spikers' mistakes. If you spike a lot of balls, in the end you will make mistakes. When the women start to play, the spiker who makes the most mistakes is Egonu, because she spikes 70 balls in every match. So she makes the most mistakes. So it's the timing more than anything. And in this case, I think it was the spikers just missed.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see actually the reserve setter of Poland, Grzegorz Lomacz, substituting Gisga for the whole match. I'm not 100% sure, because I didn't watch each minute of the game, but for sure he was not there for long. How could you actually explain such a behavior from Vitoheni? Because it's a little bit strange. The team is not playing good and well, and Gisga is always there.
He played. They at least one set they used the double sub. So, but you're right. It was not a long time. With the balance with the setter is always interesting, because if you change the setter a lot, then what normally happens is that nobody plays well. So in some moment you have to give the setter the confidence. And Gisga has been a good setter for Vital Heine now for 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is. So he trusts him, and he trusts that he will be able to win in the end. It's also the first match of the tournament. So and the group that they have, even to lose this match is by no means the end of the tournament. So it's not a reason to, let's say, do everything. If Kubiak, for example, had some small injury, there's also, if it was the final, I'm sure that he would play. But it's the first match of the tournament. They have 1 point. They know it's not easy, But for sure, not everything is lost.
Let's move to the first match that has been played during the day between Canada and Italy, because Canada started amazingly with 2 sets, but then Italy turned it around, and especially due to the fact that Vettori substituted Zaitsev, and even more specifically, Alessandro Micheletto played a great match. What do you think about him, and especially for the match as a whole, because it was very interesting in terms of development during the whole game?
It was a really interesting match. Canada started really, really well. And the main part of, or the main story of the first set, I think, is the performance of Zaitsev. He didn't start well. He had some good actions in serve, and he had some difficult balls in attack. He was not getting all of the good balls, but that made it difficult for him and the team. But the big thing that happened in the first 2 sets, but the first set especially, was Italy lost 7 points, I think, with the setter in position 1. And 2 times they couldn't get out of this rotation. And for the whole match, they had trouble with this rotation. But in the first set, it really made the difference. And if they lose 2 points less in P1, 1 extra reception, 1 more pipe, then I think you can probably say the match would be 3-0 or 3-1. So it wasn't a really big difference. And Canada took the chances that they had. Micheletto, though, was he's really, really good player, and he makes a big difference in this team. He was in the middle of everything good that they did. Some ball in defense, some 2 service series, really important service series in the 3rd set. He served, I think, 1 series with 5 points. He was good in block, some transition sets, and he really, for a 19-year-old, he's playing his 10th international match or something. He's a really good player. Will be interesting to watch how the tournament progresses with him.
Yeah, let's mention also that he ended with 17 points from attack, 3 blocks, kill blocks, and 3 aces. So it's really extraordinary stats for him in the first match. So it's this question, who is going to play with Juan Torrena, is not on the table anymore, for sure. Okay, let's go to Russia and Argentina. For me, at least, that was a typical match between a team that plays with brutal force against a team that is very technical. And the team that plays with brutal force had some problems in the beginning, but then Argentina, actually Russia started serving better, and Argentina is not a team that can handle high balls very easily when the reception is not good enough. So for me, that was the reason for Russia then beating after losing the first set. So what do you think?
I didn't see the first 2 sets. I saw the 3rd and the 4th, and in this period, Russia had control of the match. They played well. They are good in serve and block, obviously. I didn't see the first 2 sets, like I said, but Argentina just had problems to score. Conti is not at his best level. If he's was just a bad game, or he is at that part of his career, I don't know. We will see in the next days. But really, they need him to be the leader and the best point scorer if they have a chance to win against the best teams. And today he was not at that level.
Okay, probably this is enough also for this match. Let's mention again the other 2 matches. Brazil beat easily Tunisia 3-0, and Japan Venezuela 3-0, also with more or less problems in the different sets, but not something very serious. Let's just mention that during the second day, of course, it's a Women's Day, so one day male matches, one day female matches, and in the second day of the Tokyo Olympics, the Russian Olympic Committee, or just Russia, will play Italy. Very interesting match, the first match of the day. Then USA, Argentina, Serbia, Dominican Republic, China, Turkey, another very interesting match. Japan, Kenya, Brazil, Korea, and that's all for 25th of July. Mark, thank you for joining as a co-host of the first edition of this shortcast or podcast or just Volleyball Explained Olympics special. And I hope that you're going to accept another invitation for a little bit later during the tournament.
You know how much I love to talk about volleyball, so you just need to send me the link and maybe tell me.
Yeah. Thank you again, and dear spectators, thank you for watching us. I hope that you're going to do it also the next time. If possible, this Volleyball Explained Olympic special will be every day. If not, we are going to try to make as many editions as possible with different guests. So in order to see their and listen to their viewpoints. And thank you, and until the next time. Bye bye.
See you.